The following thoughts on Hoppe Hour do not represent Cox Media Group or its sponsoring. Anything you hear may and will be used against you. Thank you.
High security! Ryan in Chicago. You're on Rover's Morning Glory. Good morning, Ryan. I like this guy already. This guy, wow. All right. Now, do people tell you that you are a goofball? Or
You met young Ryan Hoppe. Ryan.
Okay, and your name?
Ryan Hoppe.
Okay, Ryan Hoppe. Where do you live?
Arlington Heights.
Ah, so you're from the rich north suburbs.
What's going on, Ryan Hoppe? This is Tony Romo.
Your buddy Ryan Hoppe.
No one knows who Ryan Hoppe is.
You never have to worry about offending Ryan Hoppe.
Isn't he like 7 foot tall?
He's 7 foot tall. He's
a kid.
He's a kid. He's been trying to find his place in radio.
Yeah.
He's a good kid. He's just, I don't know. He's spread himself pretty thin.
He's got good mentors.
And he's motivated.
Hoppe Hour is on now. Hoppe Hour is on now.
Yo! What's up? This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. For the next hour, my goal in life is to change the way you think about things for the next hour. I want my rants and my opinions to broaden your horizon. Zach, what's up, dude? Hey, man. Oh, wait, that's right. Zach wasn't able to make it in today, which is fine. His grandma's car died on the side of the highway. So obviously, grandmas come first before a freelance podcast. So Zac Townsend won't be able to make it in. But you can see him this Wednesday, as he will be one of the acts for everyone's favorite Moonshine Miller at Side Splitters Comedy Club. Yes, the co-host of Hoppe Hour is doing big things. Anyway, call the show. 856-49-HOPPE. It's 856-49-HOPPE. When I say all phone lines are open, that's when you call me, because we're not on the radio yet. Obviously, the goal is to get on FM radio. Obviously, the goal is to get on satellite radio. But when you don't have a phone screener and you have ADHD and you talk fast and you have prep, it's hard to do everything at once. So when I say all phone lines are open, call me at 856-49-HOPPE. But maybe you're antsy and you want to get your opinion out there. Trust me, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio and get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. There, you can chat me live. And there you can listen anywhere in the world. We have had record-breaking numbers in Cleveland, in Louisville, and here across the board in Florida, so I appreciate it. We have so much to get into. So, Christmas to me is my favorite time of the year because I grew up in the Midwest, so you see the seasons change. And you see it go from being hot in the summer to then being cool in the fall, and you go to football games, and you rake leaves. And then it gets cold around Christmas, and I grew up a Roman Catholic. I don't believe in any religion now for right now. I'm very open-minded. I'll keep that open. But for right now, I guess you could say I'm an atheist. I don't know what to believe. But for 18 years, religion was shoved down my throat. I went to church every single week. Believed in Santa Claus until I was in 5th grade. Which, in my opinion, is way too long. The way I found out that Santa wasn't real was I was listening to the radio and I was laying in bed and they announced it at like 11 p.m. And I went in my dad's room and I just began crying. So yes, I think I believed it way too long. But Christmas to me, if you're religious or you're not religious, is just the perfect time to come together because we have one life and to get along with each other and our family members. It's the one time of year that you pretend that we all love each other. So here's my thing. I never, ever get these Scrooges. I never, ever get these pieces of dirt that try to ruin Christmas. I never, ever get these losers who are, quote-unquote, preachers or religious figures in these cults, in these dirty, rotten religious groups that want to ruin Christmas and don't want the displays to be up. Or they don't want people to be happy because deep down they're unhappy because they've never fit in life. No one's ever loved them. So the idea of other people being happy ruins their day. I am sick and tired of people trying to ruin the holidays. It's one day a year. Get over yourself. Get over your power trip. Nobody likes you. And now you're wondering why, even though I'm going home for 3 days for Christmas, that I should be happy. Woo! Happy holidays! That I should be cheering right now. But there's this headline that makes me sick. There's this headline that got me absolutely angry. We have this audio of this scumbag preacher, this dirtbag, this leader of this cult out of Texas. I'm not going to even give it the time of day. I don't even want you to research this dirtbag, who was at a mall in Texas, letting kids know that Santa is fake. Like, my thing is this, before I get to the audio, because I have the audio. What are you getting out of this? Does it make you feel better that the kids' days are potentially ruined and that the parents have to go home in their minivans and try and babble about why Santa's real? What are you getting out of it? You have no physical proof that God is real. You have no physical proof that any of this is real. So for you to have the audacity, sir, to go into a mall and ruin kids' days, I mean, we believe in Santa Claus for about 1/7 of our life. It's not that long. So let the kids have that 1/7. It's nothing more than a scumbag move, and it's when these religious figures, if it's priests or any type of religious figure, anybody that preaches the gospel and they let it get to their head and they make money off of it and they run cults, they're dirty, rotten losers. They are scumbags. And if God is real and if Jesus is real, trust me when I say he's looking down on you because you're using his power. And I don't even know why I'm saying that because I don't believe. Anyway, we have this audio of this back crap crazy preacher that was at this mall. So here it is. And the best part is the dude is so ugly that he should not have had it in selfie mode. He should have had somebody film him, because when you have it in selfie mode on the iPhone, very often you look weird. It looks different on the Snapchat selfie mode. It doesn't look as weird, but he has that reverse look. You know when you put it in selfie mode and it looks weird? There's not one handsome bone in this dirtbag's body. This whole video is an abomination. I will tweet it out at Ryan Hoppe Radio after the show. But here is the audio of the preacher at the mall ruining everyone's day.
Grisham here for Last Frontier Evangelism, and today we're at the mall in Amarillo, Texas, and we're going to tell the children here today the truth that there is no Santa Claus and that Christmas is about Jesus Christ. Jesus died on the cross to pay for their sins, and Jesus was born in a manger 2016 years ago. So here we go. We're going to tell them the truth. Folks, my name is Pastor David. Kids, I wanted to tell you today.
First of all, that is the ultimate sign that you're a weirdo, when you have to walk over and introduce yourself. Folks, I'm Pastor Dave. It is the ultimate sign that you're attracted to kids. That's the ultimate sign that you're a weirdo, when you have to imply that you are a preacher, that you are a religious figure. Nobody cares. If your opinion mattered, you wouldn't have to introduce yourself. Your words would speak for itself. And then at the end of the video, you'd go, oh yeah, I'm a preacher. But the fact that he has to go, I'm Pastor Dave, shows that you are backcraft crazy and that nobody loves you. All right, back to the audio. It gets even better.
That there is no such thing as Santa Claus. Santa Claus does not exist. The Christmas season is about Jesus. Jesus was born 2016 years ago. He was born in a manger.
That's the first thing. He goes, Santa Claus isn't real, but Jesus Christ is. He was born 2000 and... Of course, Facebook Live can kiss my ass. They're claiming this video is copyrighted. Anyway, what I love about this video is the fact that he's claiming that Jesus was born 2016 years ago, like we have actual proof, like we have a birth certificate or some type of proof that it's real. Like, get the hell out of here. And it gets even better as I'm going to keep on playing it. You hear the parents in the background getting mad. And I'm actually surprised that he wasn't just socked in the face. Like, if I was that mall Santa Claus, you know what I would have done? I would have punched him right in the face. I would have given him a black eye. Because you're a mall Santa. You don't have that much going for you in your life. It's a side job. And you'd be a hero. All the kids would be like, yeah, Santa's real. I'm just saying. Call the show, 49-HOPPY. It's 856-49-HOPPY.
Called Bethlehem, and that's the truth about Christmas. The man you're going to see today is just a man in a suit dressed up like Santa, but Santa does not exist.
I always wondered about that. I never got it, because you would see Santa in the church basement, and then you'd go to the Knights of Columbus Hall, and you would see Santa Claus at the pancake breakfast, and then you would see Santa at Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg, and then you would see Santa Claus at the park, and then you would see Santa Claus at your rich friend's house, and you go, oh my God, how are there so many Santa Clauses? And my mom would go, oh, those are his helpers. And you go, okay, makes sense. Sounds like he has a headquarters and they just ship him out to every single suburb in America and every single part of this country. Man, I miss being that likable and that easy to prove. Man, I wish Santa was real too. Because the saddest part about when I found out that Santa Claus was fake was the immediate moment when you go, oh, he's not going to pay for my bills when I grow up. Like, that's how weird I was in 5th grade when I found out he wasn't real. I went, oh, he's not going to be able to buy me a car when I'm 23. Oh, he's not going to be able to give me a nice apartment on the beach in St. Petersburg or a nice apartment in Cleveland. That's how weird I am. When I first found out Santa Claus was fake, that was what went through my mind. Call the show, 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-49-HOPPY. All phone lines are open. All right.
Not real. And parents, y'all need to stop lying to your children and telling them that Santa Claus is real when in fact he's not. When you substitute the lie of Santa Claus in the heart of your child for the truth of Jesus Christ, you are bearing false witness against God. Don't lie to your children and tell them there's such a thing as Santa when you know in reality that there are no flying reindeer, there is no workshop at the North Pole, there is no elves making toys, that you buy a...
Can you imagine if this dude, with the amount of passion he has for trying to prove that Santa isn't real, can you imagine the amount of passion he had if he was trying to fix the crime in ghettos or trying to prove something else? The amount of passion he has for being a scumbag, if he were to use that for good, can you imagine how much he could be contributing to this world, especially in Texas? But no, he's got to be a scumbag. And I like the point, too, where he's proving all the things that Santa doesn't have reindeers that fly him around, and then he's not going down your chimney. And I never got that either, because I lived in a small house, and my roof wasn't that big, and there wasn't a flat part about it, and we didn't really have a quote-unquote chimney that he could just slide down. So I never got how he would just drop off all the toys between 1993 and 2005 or whatever. It's like 12 years of believing in it. Jesus. I never ever got how it was plausible. But I just believed that somehow he went house to house all over the world and just landed on our chimney and went down somehow. And there was one time that my mom, Santa rather, didn't eat the cookies that I had left out, and I felt offended. So even back then in 3rd grade, I had an ego. But you were just hoping that it was true. You were just hoping that some way and somehow Christmas is important when it comes to getting things. And I just don't get what this guy's doing. I don't get if he drives home in his beat-up car because you know he's not rich. You know nobody loves him, so he's going home to his house by himself with his cats, listening to NPR like a weirdo. And you know he's going home and he feels like he accomplished something. And you know he feels like he did something with his life. But he's a scumbag, a loser, and nobody loves you. All right, back to the audio.
And put them under the tree. That's all the truth. And there is no real Santa Claus. There is no Santa. It is not your place to lie to your children. Tell them the truth about Jesus Christ. Tell them the truth about what Christmas is all about.
If I were a parent, I'd be panicking because you don't know when this dude's going to shut up. Now, after the fact, we know the video is just 3 minutes long. But when you're in the moment, you're like, when the hell is this dude going to shut the F up? If I were a parent, I'd be like, what am I doing? I mean, I'm a nervous wreck in life as it is. So number one, I can't even imagine having kids now. And number two, I can't even imagine having to somehow deal with the fact. Like, you're going, when's this dude going to shut up? And then you're thinking, what am I going to tell my kids on the way home in the minivan when we have Christmas music on? And they're in their kid seat. Or for me, I was in the front seat of the car because I believed in him until I was 12 in 5th grade. And you don't even know what the hell to say. I mean, Jesus Christ. Back to the audio.
It's about Jesus, and it's not about Santa Claus. There is no Santa Claus. There is no Santa Claus. It's about Jesus. Tell them the truth.
Go. Yes, we do tell them the truth. Now, go on.
Sir, don't put your hands on me.
Go on. Quit talking his mess. You understand me?
Keep your hands to yourself.
I got my kids over there.
Ugh, this guy's the worst. Don't put your hands on me. Of course, somebody's going to put their hands on you, you dirty, rotten pussy. You're trying to ruin these kids' lives. For the time being, they'll get over it. And you're making this weird, and you're being confrontational, and you know you're being a bully, you know you're being a scumbag, and you know that you're beginning some beef. Of course, somebody's going to put their hands on you. Us men, we may be alpha males, or we maybe want to be alpha males, but men get angry easily. So when a dad who loves his kid, who wants his kids to believe in Santa Claus, has this dirty, rotten douchebag coming over trying to ruin everything going on, of course somebody's going to put their hands on you. So you acting like a victim makes you come off like a rodent. Happy holidays, dude.
We don't need you coming over and blabbing whatever the hell you blabbing.
I'm telling you the truth, that there is no Santa Claus.
Go.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. You need to keep your hands to yourself, sir, and don't put your hands on people. That's
don't come over here talking your mess.
And don't come over here and tell your children the truth, that there is no Santa Claus.
That's not your decision for me to tell my kids.
I wonder what this guy is like at, let's say, social functions. I bet he's just that dude. Like, he's the creepy uncle, he runs the cult, so you feel like you're forced to invite him to Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever you believe in. And he's just the dude that goes, so, what do you think of that Donald Trump? And just makes things incredibly awkward. I bet he's that dude that makes everything about him, and he has to get his 2 cents in. I bet he's the dude when you're shopping, he comes up to a 6'9" goofball and goes, how tall are you? Do you play basketball? I bet he's the dude when he's at the DMV and he hears people that are in front of him or that are behind him talking about, let's say, the news. He has to get his 2 cents. He sounds like a very confrontational person who needs to get his opinion out there because nobody's ever liked him. He's never fit in anywhere. So religion gives him this false hope where everybody has to listen to him and people get sucked in. Listen, dude, nobody likes you. Happy holidays!
Happy Hour.
Hey, what's up? This is Ryan Hoppe from the award-winning Hoppe Hour podcast and winner of the fight against Jake Herron of the Crowded Table in the My Count the Punch-Out. And the main reason that I won that fight was because of the training that I got from Main Event Boxing in St. Petersburg. And now maybe you're not even going into a boxing match, but you want to get into shape. And you're sick and tired of looking at your gut. And you're sick and tired of going to the gym and getting average results. And you're saying to yourself, man, how can I get into the best shape of my life, especially here in Tampa Bay, where you should have a summer body all the time? Trust me, I'm a man of my words. When you need to go to Main Event Boxing in St. Pete, there are so much good things about them, including the fact that they have a high-intensity 30-minute body workout, which focuses on every part of your body and conditioning. They will make sure they will now wear you out, and each day is a different workout, and they really do care about seeing the progress you have as a person and with the muscles you will gain after coming to Main Event Boxing. To get into contact with them, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. All you got to do is call Josh, the owner and trainer, at 727-564 727-564-3948. That's 727-564-3948. And you can visit them in person at 2575 28th Avenue North, and that's in St. Petersburg. Trust me when I say, Main Event Boxing is the best in the Bay.
Live from the Sunshine State, this is Hoppe Hour.
Welcome back to Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. We got a message from Facebook. So I have the opening intro. That's a famous techno song. And I play about 10 seconds of it before I begin talking. And they threatened to shut down my video because I play Sandstorm by Darude. Kiss my ass, Facebook. Darude didn't lose any money because I played it for 10 seconds. Darude would laugh that there's a podcast in Tampa Bay that's playing their song. They'd be flattered. Kiss my ass. It's not like I'm doing a mix show where I'm a DJ and I'm playing songs. God, are they so uptight at Facebook. Anyway, I'm not going on a Facebook rant. Don't feel like giving Mark Zuckerberg the time of day. And frankly, I need my profile to somehow promote what I'm trying to do in radio, so I don't want to get banned. Call the show. 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-49-HOPPE. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. And remember, you can see my co-host, Zac Townsend, this Wednesday at Side Splitters. He will be one of the acts for everyone's favorites, Moonshine Miller. Go there. Zac Townsend is one of the up-and-coming comedians in this town. Not just in Tampa Bay, not just in Florida, but in this country. I've been wanting to have a co-host for the show, but it's been hard to find somebody. We've had a few co-hosts here and there on the show. It hasn't worked out. But Zach has the mindset of listening to Opie and Anthony and Ron and Fez and now Bennington and Howard. So he gets that it's my show, but I'm trying to spread the wealth. He has been the best co-host I have ever had 5 weeks in. And obviously our ultimate goal is to get on air. But for right now, we're just having fun. And I'm going to be also visiting Chicago this week for Christmas. And I don't know if I'm actually prepared for how cold it's going to be. Because about 2 weeks ago, I worked the Drew Saves Christmas toy drive, and I was shivering in 50-degree weather like a pussy. And I'm the dude. When I moved down here, I told everybody, I told all my coworkers, how is this cold? A year and a half later, a year and a half here in Tampa Bay, being removed from the Midwest, because I went from Chicago to Cleveland to now Tampa Bay, I never thought I would find it cold. So I found this article, because I'm going to Chicago from the 23rd until the 30th, and it's supposed to be warming up to 25 degrees. Can't wait. I found this from the Weather Channel. Why winter sucks. Number one, you fall down a lot. I had this problem all the time. I'm not coordinated. I'm more coordinated now since winning the boxing match against Jake Heron of the Crowded Table and Mike Heltis Punch-Out, but I'm not that coordinated. And when I was 295 pounds and fat, I would slip on the black ice all the time walking to the bus stop. So I always had that problem. Another thing is it says you feel like you're going to die when you go outside. There was nothing worse than when you had to go outside just to get your mail at the end of the driveway, or you had to shovel and then go outside an hour later because it keeps snowing. There's nothing positive about the cold. And if you think you like the winter or you like cold weather, then you're saying that because you haven't lived in Florida. Which is what drives me nuts about Floridians, is they bitch and complain about how hot it is down here, but then they go up to Chicago or Philly or New York or one of the Rust Belt cities in the Midwest, and then they go, yeah, it's hot as balls 24/7 in Florida, but you can at least be outside. When it's so cold out in the Midwest, you don't feel like leaving your bed. And when we were growing up, we didn't have a ton of money, so we didn't always have the heat on. So I had a heater in my room, which then every morning I'd wake up with a dry throat. like I was some girl in porn after a hard day at work. Every day I woke up with a dry throat, and you're then hot. Then you get worse acne because it's so muggy out. So you really, or not muggy, it's very frigid out rather. So you feel so cold all the time, like you want to die. The other thing it says why winter sucks is you have to go outside to begin your car early. There was nothing worse than that. Because then you have to wake up early, go to your car, and I always was in a hurry. So what would always happen to me was the snow that I forgot to shovel or wipe off of my car rather would hit my car seats. So then my ass would be wet going to high school. And then you have to warm up your car, and you have to drink coffee every morning. Then you have to shovel your driveway, and then the suburban blocks of good old mean blocks of Mount Prospect where I grew up, they never would shovel the roads. They would shovel the main roads around the Chicagoland area and in Cleveland. But the suburban roads, the plowers could give two craps about. So it says here, people forget how to drive. And that would happen too because you don't know what the plowers are being paid for because they would never plow the suburban roads. Man, do I not miss the winter. We have a call on Hoppe Hour. It's my guy Dwayne, who is a pretty big fan of the show. Yo, what's up? What's up, man? What do you have to say? Yo, what's up? What do you have to say?
Hey, Dwayne from Minnesota. Holy cow, it's been cold there, man.
This is Dwayne, who lives in Tampa Bay. This is not a call from Minnesota. I'm not going to be failed. I'm not going to be one of the shows that Howard goofs on when they have prank calls that are phony prank calls. What's up, Dwayne?
Minnesota, though. Originally, we're going Friday. I'm not looking forward to that weather at all, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm going up to Chicago on Thursday. Dude, I think because we live here in Florida and we get so used to being cold that this is going to be a culture shock for us. I mean,
like an 80-degree change for us from 80 above to 10 below. It's crazy.
Dude, isn't it crazy how Floridians down here bitch and moan about cold weather and they don't seem to appreciate that? Even if it's hot as balls out, you can at least be outside, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's just this year, especially, it's warmer here, so there's no complaining. Florida cannot complain about the weather.
Also on the list here, because I'm reading this list of the top 11 reasons why the Midwest sucks when it comes to being cold, is the fact that you're bored, because you don't know what to do. You can't leave the house. All you can do is drink and smoke if you're a suburban kid growing up. I mean, there's not much to do. Didn't you have that problem growing up in Minnesota where there was...
thing where you wouldn't even, you wouldn't see your friends for 3-4 months. You'd be like, oh, what happened to him? Oh, he's taller. Oh, the other girl got pregnant. The other people, you haven't seen them in 3 months. What they've been doing? They maybe moved away even.
And the thing too was I never was cool growing up, and I'm not that cool now, but I never got laid, and I would get jealous of all my friends that would be getting Hummers or that would be getting laid or getting handies because they're warm inside, and I would call them and be like, yo, do you want to hang out? And they're like, no, I'm with my girl, and then they would hang up the phone. Everybody else was... Did you ever have any good Midwest love, Dwayne?
No, nothing like that for me.
I like you, man. There's a lot of weird talk radio listeners. I appreciate each and every one of them because they make talk radio possible. And I don't get a lot of listens on Hoppe Hour. I do all right, but I'm not like Joe Rogan or Adam. I want to get there. But what I like about you is you're a character of a listener, but you're genuine, and you bought me pizza at the canned food drive last month. So I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you listening, Dwayne.
Take it easy, Ryan. Have a good holiday.
You too, dude. See you, man. I have a weird amount of listeners. Like, over the last year and a half, I have gathered over 150,000 listens. And I get listens from Cleveland, the ROC, the markets that the previous show I worked on in Cleveland have, Louisville, Dayton, some of the former markets. And I get listens here in Tampa, Miami. But I never get approached about it, which is fine because I'm just a podcast. I'm not on the radio yet. But what I mean by not getting approached by it is the fact that anybody that ever recognizes me in public, the first thing they say is, you don't deserve all the hate you get, or keep up the hustle. So I never know who's listening. Like, I'm doing really well in Ottawa, Canada, in Vancouver, but I never get any tweets from there. I never get any calls from there. So if you're from any city besides Tampa Bay and you're listening to Hoppe Hour, call us right now, 856-49-HOPPE. That is 856-49-HOPPE. Here's the deal. We're going to come back and get to more of the news after this.
Hoppe Hour.
Playing, boy. What you saying, boy? LEP, bogus boy. What? I got this one level. Yeah. Rap don't work. Back to the project. With some baking soda slaving over that pirate. I still gotta make quota, so now I'm back.
I would quit playing this song, but Facebook doesn't let me play licensed music, so I'm running out of things to play. Sorry.
Turn around, make you bad. Matter of fact, tell whoever you plug with, try to catch me, I get on some stick up shit.
This next topic is going to fire people up. I can't wait to see who's going to be mad about this. If you brag about working out, you're mentally ill. Oh boy, I can imagine the anger that this is going to cause.
All types of grindedness, nigga, you name it. Without business, gotta get it. Pimping about money.
I can already hear the anger of them saying, shut up, you goofball. Mentally ill. If you brag about working out. I do CrossFit, bro. Yeah. Ugh.
We ready to rock. I keep my faith on my mind. Stay on the grind. You never catch a hustler struggling, that's out of line. I'm steady flipping zippers, flipping dimes. And I bet you ain't with a chopper, ain't precise it in mine. Still cock and squeeze, I ain't gonna talk about it. I treat this money like the Papa, never leave without it here. If you got it, and I'm feeling like I want it bad, I stick his ass up fast for that little cash. Give it up, you want it done right, better do it yourself. The more mix you hit it with, the quicker it melt. I'm in the telly with some baggies in the ditch.
Who the hell's watching this? I'm trying. I live a riveting life.
Raps don't work and niggas still gotta eat. You wanna be Big Ruger, keep a lot of heat. Yeah. Even my baby mama keep it in the baby seat. Show money, blow money every other week. Rap don't work, it's back to the block. I'm in the kitchen, nigga cooking the rocks. We make it pop, pop. I'm good with the pop. Now what it do? We ready to rock. If rap don't work, I ain't finna trip. I'ma take it to the block and chop another zip. Fat rat sitting back watching Dro tip. $100 bills busting out the money clips. Another hit, check the spins on the BDS. I'm a star and they ain't seen me on the TV yet. Even if it's wet, I'ma make it flip. Rap don't work, it's back out of town taking trips.
Hey, Mooney, I see you got your buzz up, but if rapping don't work for you, what you gonna do?
Back to the block, baby!
Yeah, you have it.
We'll be back in like 30 seconds.
We make it pop, pop. I'm good with the pop. Now what it do? We ready to rock.
Syndicated on IRN and heard around the world on the Hoppe Radio app. You are tuned in to Hoppe Hour.
Welcome back to Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. Call the show! The phone lines are wide open. 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-49-HOPPE. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio and get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio. Hoppe Radio. There you can chat me live. As a reminder, my guy, Zac Townsend, who couldn't make it in today, the official co-host of Hoppe Hour, will be at Side Splitters this week in Tampa Bay, opening up, he will be doing a show on the side with Moonshine Miller, who's going to be the main act. Zac Townsend will be there. I'm very happy for him. Tweet at him, at Smack Townsend, and go to thehungoverachiever.com. That is where you can find his work. All right, this next headline I know is going to infuriate people. This next headline I know is going to really bother people. And if you're passionate about it and you don't agree with me, I want to hear from you right now. 856-49-HOPPY. It's 856-49-HOPPY. This is from Business Insider. But what I did was I just typed in people bragging about working out online, and I found this article, and it's perfect. And it's not like a thing from like 7 years ago. This is a recent article. People who post about fitness routine to Facebook have mental issues, this new article claims. And this isn't an opinion piece. Scientists looked into this. Psychologists looked into this. Psychiatrists looked into this. If you brag about doing CrossFit or using your app and losing 5 pounds on MyFitnessPal, or you have your tracker of how much you jogged and you have to take a screenshot of it to put it on Instagram, you might be mentally ill. All right, we have a call already on Hoppe Hour. See who the hell this is. Hoppe Hour, who's this?
My name's Sean.
What's up, Sean? What do you have to say?
I was wondering how you felt about the recent murdering of the Russian ambassador to Turkey.
I don't talk about that on my show. Have a good day. Bye-bye. I don't know why you would call the show talking about a Russian person that got murdered overseas when I'm talking about people that are mentally ill because they work out online. That's like if you were to call Rush Limbaugh's show and say, what is your take on Black China divorcing Rob Kardashian? One topic's over here, the other one's over here. I will never, ever talk about politics on my show unless it's Trump crying about SNL. Anyway, back on topic. There's this article here. I will read it. Be honest with yourself. You have many friends who post about their gym activity on Facebook. Or maybe that person is you. For example, ran 15 miles today, yeah. Or got my CrossFit workout in, bro, yeah. And I know this topic is going to bother a lot of people because I have good friends. I know people who have to brag about it all the time. And that used to be me when I was 295 pounds. And I was so unconfident 5 years ago in high school. And I had to say that I worked out and that I'm going to prove the haters wrong. If you have to brag about doing it online, you're losing weight. You're working out for the wrong reasons. You're doing it for attention. You're doing it because you want to make yourself look good. There's nothing special about grabbing rope and throwing it up and down at a CrossFit gym. There's nothing special about doing dumbbells. Frankly, there's nothing special about me winning a boxing match. I got a trainer and I trained for 5 months. I never talked about it. Nobody thought I was going to win. You guys who brag about working out online need to realize there's nothing unique. There's nothing special. There's nothing intriguing about you flexing a YouFit, about you bragging about your CrossFit fam, about you talking about, oh my God, my girl makes the best meals. Anybody can make good meals if you learn how to cook. There's nothing special about you working out. Nobody cares. Nobody looked at your picture you took of you working out at the gym and went, oh my God, he lost weight. Oh my God, his guns are huge. If anything, people look at it and they feel bad about themselves if they're in bad shape. I'm just saying. And right now we're getting calls on Hoppe Hour. Call me when the phone lines are open. I'm just saying there's this epidemic that is happening where people keep bragging. And it's just so infuriating. It's people that used to be fat. And I used to be fat too. So I know how it is. But trust me, if you were fat or you were kind of a twig and then you get muscles, if you want the compliments that you're getting on Facebook by bragging about it, wouldn't you rather have it be genuine when you get a compliment in person? Like, I'm in the best shape of my life. And whenever anybody says you look good, Hoppy, I go, thank you. I don't need to brag about it, that I'm working out. There's nothing special about when you're doing it. You're one of a million. Nobody cares that you went to GNC or Max Muscle and got the latest pre-workout. And look at these guns, I'm ripped. Nobody cares. Nobody is impressed. Frankly, people hate on parents that brag about their kids. Not everybody has a kid in this lifetime. So when you have a kid, you have this emotional attachment to it. It's your thing. You had intercourse or you got a sperm donor and now it's your thing. It's this living being. So bragging about working or bragging about having a kid online at least makes sense because nobody else can have a kid like yours. It's your one-of-a-kind thing. But when you brag about having the new car that somebody else could buy if they had as much money as you, or if you brag about working out and anybody else could get into that good of shape if they tried, there's nothing unique about you. Shut up. It's so irritating. And what's annoying is it's a lot of my good friends. And I'm not even trying to be a curmudgeon. And I'm not trying to be a negative guy. But there's not one person that looks at it and goes, oh my God, I've never seen that before. They're at CrossFit and they're squatting? Oh Lord, is that original? But if you look at a picture of a dude's kid and he looks cute, you go, oh, he has a kid. I don't have a kid. That's unique. God damn it. Maybe I'm in the wrong here. Maybe I don't get it. Call me. 856-49-HOPPY. That is 856-49-HOPPY. I just got a message from Jason Kinder or Kinder. I always forget his last name and I feel bad because he's like one of the true fans out of Cleveland. And he said, just got done sitting on my ass for 3 hours. I love that because nobody will ever admit that they were on their ass watching the local news and then watching Jeopardy and then watching a local rerun of 2.5 Men. We need more of that. More of people saying, I sat on my ass, ate Cheetos, ate a frozen pizza, and now I don't feel well. My God. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio and get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. I also saw this in the headlines today, and this cracked me up. For the amount of good cops that we have in this world, we have a lot of bad cops too, and this one is just creepy. And this happened out of New Jersey. New Jersey trooper pulled over women to ask them out and then tried to cover it up, New Jersey says. A New Jersey cop has been suspended without pay after an internal look into when they found out he would pull over women and ask them out on dates and then falsify the police records to cover it up. Marcus Prather, age 37, was taken in Friday on record tampering charges and released without bail, according to the Division of Criminal Events in New Jersey, which brought up the charges. Officials say the New Jersey Police Office of Professional Records began looking into the trooper after several women lodged complaints about his behavior on the road. They found that there was a pattern of him pulling over women between the prime ages of 20 and 35 and soliciting them to go on a date with him or give them their phone numbers. This guy is an egomaniac. This guy represents why cops get a bad rap at times. He can't get laid on his own, so he has to use his power, the power that he has of being a cop, to somehow, in some way, get laid. And I actually kind of respect the fact that he's so out of his mind and he's so ego-driven that he thought he would get away with it. I actually think that's pretty awesome. That he thought these women would love the fact that they're getting pulled over in the morning when they're on their way to work or they're on their way to maybe getting their hair done or they're on their way to just going anywhere, and you get pulled over, and you waste 10 minutes of your life and then have to go on a date with a guy, and for some reason they're not going to complain, and when you're doing it a lot, you're going to get mass complaints. I love the fact that this cop didn't see this coming. He's out of his mind. You know, he was the dude that was on the B team for any sport back in the day when he was in school. And he sort of fit in, but he wasn't cool enough. Like, he never got to bang the cheerleaders, so he became a cop trying to fit in. And he became a cop just because he wanted to be cool. And he thought that would help him get laid. It's one thing to me. If you're a cop and you flirt with a girl, if you're, let's say, at Chipotle, and you're in the line and you see a girl you like, that's tacky, that's classless. You're a loser if you have to use your badge to get laid. It's unethical, but you go, whatever. Or you have to name drop at the bar that you're a cop, that's fine. But how do you think you're going to get away with it when you're pulling people over and you're then saying, will you go out with me if I don't give you the ticket? And I bet they weren't even speeding. I bet half the time they weren't doing anything. But he goes, oh my God, she's a hot piece of ass in the Corvette. I got to pull that over. Call the show. Are you a female and that's ever happened to you? 856-49-HOPPY. That is 856-49-HOPPY. Or maybe you're a male and you got muscles and you brag about working out online and you claim this has happened to you by a hot cop. Which actually, I feel like a dude wouldn't mind if this happened. I mean, there's a reason why this scenario exists on, let's say, Pornhub or XNXX or UJizz or any porn site ever. Xham, any of the sites. I can list about 100 porn sites. X videos. Why, there's the videos of the cops that are female and they pull over the male who goes, I'm sorry for speeding. Sometimes I feel like I watch too much porn. I don't even watch that much, but it's because I'm single and I'm on this local dry spell. I don't know why I said local. It's not like I had an international dry spell. I'm on this dry spell where it's been like 2 months, so the consumption of porn hasn't been bad lately. But when I had a girlfriend or I had girls that I was banging, you wouldn't have to watch it because you would just get laid that night. But now that I'm on this dry spell, I have the Pornhub app on my Roku box, no shame, and you try to see the different scenarios. You have the teachers, you have the MILFs, and I see a lot recently of these cops that will pull over the dude, and he goes, oh my God, I'm sorry. How can I get out of this ticket? Frankly, that means I need to get out of my couch and go out there and live life.
Hoppe Hour.
Yo, what's up, dude? God damn it. The professional setup Hoppe TV has. My uncoordinated ass knocking that over. Yup. 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 Yup.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. We're about to wrap things up, but I got a decent point that has come out of Hoppe TV. I have a decent point that has come out of the Hoppe Radio app. I've had a few people say this. I was talking about how you're mentally ill, potentially, if you brag about working out online, which I found on the Huffington Post. It's an actual news source. People think I just made it up. Somebody said to me, and he's a dude that listens to all my shows, and I've had Facebook talks with him, so he's a good dude. Sean Dingman said, Hoppe, didn't you post a video of you working out before the boxing match? You even said it was to intimidate your opponent. Well, that's completely and utterly different, and I will explain to you why. Nobody ever had me winning the fight. Nobody ever gave me a chance. If it was when me and John Senning of the Crowded Table went at it on Drew Garabo Live back in August, or when he wasn't able to do the fight, so then it was Jake from the Crowded Table saying it was going to be a bloodbath and that he was going to kick my ass, and everybody on the bone had me losing. People thought I would have the heart and passion. People thought I was going to potentially win, but nobody had me winning. And the thing is this, I did it because Soul Brother Kevin was like, you need to kind of spice this up. You need to be funny. You need to be entertaining. And I'm a goofy guy, and the video was goofy. There was no way in hell that John Senning was going to watch that video of me punching the bags at Burns Fitness in Largo, brought to you by Thomas Gorganis, and go, oh my God, I'm losing to Hoppe. There was nobody that watched that video and went, oh my God, it is for sure that Hoppe's going to beat John Senning. People went, okay, Hoppe's gained a little bit of muscle. He sort of knows how to punch the bag. But even then, that was before I got my form down. And once I got my form down and I began going to Main Event Boxing in St. Pete, brought to you by Joshua and James, you never ever saw me brag about working out. You never, ever saw me take selfies. You never, ever heard me ever go after Jake or John online. And even when me and Jake were going at it on air before the fight, until Mike wanted me to begin being more confident in the argument, my line was always, I'm going to give it the best I can be. I'm going to try my hardest to win. And then once Kelta said, quit being a pussy, show some emotion, then I got the crowd kind of going when me and Jake from the Crowded Table were going at it on air. But you never saw me brag about working out online. And I've been a proponent of the fact that it needs to go away. And John Senning from the Crowded Table and the Crowded Takeover, which is Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m., and they're in this week for Drew Garabo, 2 to 6 p.m., he chimed in on Hoppe TV. He said the video was legit. Kind of, John. I mean, it was a funny video. It was entertaining. It showed that I can kind of punch the bag hard. But even then, if you're watching on Hoppe TV, you can see I was punching it sideways. I wasn't doing it with the right form, which Main Event Boxing in St. Pete helped with. John, if you're listening to the show, call me, 856-49-HOPPE. Were you even potentially afraid of that video? There was nobody that went, oh my God, that's crazy. Like, even Jake's video that he made was a little more scarier. I wasn't afraid of it because I wanted to win so badly that I was sort of pretending the fact that Jake was going to really hurt me. Like, even though that I won that fight, I give Jake mad props. I probably had a mini concussion after that fight. I have never been that dinged up ever in my life. And I've been a guy that was never coordinated and I would fall off of bikes. And I've hurt myself before. I have never, ever been that dinged up. Even though I won the fight, I won by 2 points. The fight was obviously not rigged. The fight was obviously for real. But Jake gave me a black eye that I had for 2 weeks. It wasn't like the fight was, fake. And Sean Dingman chimes in. I was just spicing things up. I wasn't accusing you of having mental issues. No. I know you weren't accusing me of having mental issues. Even though I do have mental issues. I have ADD, ADHD, I have bipolar, and a speech impediment. I actually do have mental issues. But I'm just defending myself because there's people that were like, oh, you sucked. You shouldn't have won. And I'm just saying why I think I should have won, and I did win. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm out of breath. Call the show. 856-49-HOPPY. It is 856-49-HOPPY. I know you're sad. I know this somehow made your day. And all things in life end. We end. Our careers end. Everything ends. So you know what time it is? It is time for last call.
About to end. But first, it's time for last call.
And someone just left me a comment on Twitter. It's great. Someone did the greater than sign that you would have in math class, and they said Rover's Morning Glory is greater than Hoppe Hour. Obviously, Rover's better than me. He has a nice house. He's syndicated. He's on in the 30th biggest market. I'm doing a podcast. I work in promotions in the 19th biggest market, but I'm not on air yet. Of course he's better than me. He does good interviews. He has a show. What a riveting comment. I do appreciate Cleveland listening. It cracks me up. Even though I just have 70 downloads, according to Cleveland. But I like Cleveland. I wanted to visit this year, but I didn't have enough time because I just have 6 days and I get to see my mom once a year in Chicago. If you want to listen to Hoppe Hour on demand, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. All you got to do is get the Hoppe Radio app. You need Google Play and iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. Check out my website. I'm trying to put in work into it. I'm really working hard on it. I have a new blog where I recap the show. It's all at RyanHoppeRadio.com. Tweet at me at RyanHoppeRadio. And email me, RyanHoppeRadio@gmail.com. This Wednesday, my guy Zac Townsend will be opening up for Moonshine Miller, everyone's favorite Steve Miller. SidesplittersComedy.com to get tickets. They are at 12938 North Dale Mabry Highway in Tampa Bay, Florida. And he's not opening up for Moonshine, but he's going to be one of the acts there. I keep saying it. Call them. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. All you got to do is call them at 727. Let me load it up here. I hate when this internet freezes. I'm about to promote my co-host doing a show, and then it has to freeze. It's very irritating. But Side Splitters is legit. It's my favorite comedy club. BT is great. I love everybody there. It's 813-960-1197. It's 813-960-1197. And you can check out Zac Townsend at Smack Townsend on Twitter and the Hungover Achievers, thehungoverachiever.com. Also, this show has been brought to you by Main Event Boxing in St. Pete. Check them out at 2575 28th Avenue North in St. Pete and call them at 727-564-3948. That's 727-564-3948. Tell them I sent you. Talk to Joshua and James and Lee over there, and they will hook you up. Hoppe Hour has also been brought to you by the Tampa Bay Image Factory. My guy Joe Sale, go to TampaImageFactory.com. He's the guy that made me those really cool press shots, and call him at 813-417-2626. That's 813-417-2626, and he will hook you up with some great press shots. If it's your wedding or your corporate event, any event, and you need pictures, he is the guy to go to. Happy Hour has also been brought to you by Solis Graphics out of Duluth, Minnesota. My guy Nicholas Seymour makes great decals. He's one of the best in the country. And for just $2, you can promote this award-winning show. tinyurl.com/happyhourdecal. That is tinyurl.com/happyhourdecal. Oh my goodness. I am sick and tired of me promoting myself. Ugh. Happy Hour will be back next year in 2017. Everybody have a safe Christmas, a safe Kwanzaa, a safe Festivus, a safe Hanukkah, and appreciate life. And me and Zac Townsend will be back live next year. Bye. Happy holidays.
Everybody, everybody.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.